channel. My name is Mercy, or Sonny Abroad, as many of you know me from TikTok, from YouTube, and from Instagram. Thank you for the returning subscribers. Thank you for the new people on my YouTube, and enjoy. So today I'm gonna be talking about what to do after being an au pair. As you know, many countries you have to be an au pair for only 1 year, but some of them, like France, Denmark, and Switzerland, you can be an au pair for almost 2 years or around 2 years, but that's your choosing. So many people decide that they want to only be an au pair in 1 year and then do something else. So I'm here to give you 6 pathways that you can change your visa to after being an au pair. When I look down, I'm reading my notes, so bear with me. So the number one thing that we're going to be talking about is being a student. I'm going to be talking about 6 pathways, but number one is going to be being a student, as many people have taken to this path that I know of, and also I did this because I found it to be easier. So being a student, first you need to know which country that you would like to be a student in. Is it the same country that you're an au pair in? Will you like to be a student in another country? And you also need to know when do application starts. Like in Netherlands, they start from October to April. You need to be in that area. You need to know, what do you want to study? Do you want to do a bachelor's? Do you want to do a pre-master's? Do you want to do a master's? Look at the documents they need. Do they need them? If it's your degree or your A-level certified, do you need, how much do you need in your account in order to apply for a student visa? Does the country, does the school that you get, does the country help you get the student visa, or do they just give you the documents and tell you to apply for the visa yourself? These are all things that you'll need to research while you're being an au pair, and that you also want to know after, within like 6 months of you being an au pair, you need to start combing on what you actually want to do. Okay, when it comes to being a student, you can also do an intensive language. That way you're applying for a language visa. You need to find a school that's going to offer you the language that you want to study, especially in Germany. This is where most people are seen they are doing this. You find a school that's offering you an intensive German class, intensive German classes, either from B1 to B2. Enroll and then apply for a language visa. Most families usually help with this, as they don't really mind. So number one is either student visa or a language visa, which is still a student visa, is you being a student. So number two, we're going to be talking about staying and living in Germany and doing your Ausbildung or FSJ or BFD. These are 3 different things, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So if you have studied German until around A2 or B1, you're able to apply to Germany, or if you're already an au pair in Germany, or if you're an au pair in another country but you would like to move to Germany, you can apply to FSJ or BFD or Ausbildung. So with Ausbildung, it depends with what you want to do. Do you want to do nursing? Do you want to do IT? Do you want to do hospitality? With every program that you would like to take, they usually ask for a different level of of German. So you can be asked for A2, you can be asked for B1, you can be asked for B2. You need to know what to do. You need to know the companies that hire you. You can use azubi.com or ausbildung.de. They usually have all these programs for you. So those are 2 things. The other thing is you can use a skilled work visa, but this is usually if you already have a profession from your home country. Most of it is, I've seen most people working in Germany with the profession they had from their own country, like in the healthcare industry, especially in physiotherapy or nursing. They get a working visa. If you have IT, or if you have like software development, that is your profession. Also in finance, I've seen a lot of people getting jobs in Netherlands or in France or in Spain because they already have the professionalism, and the country doesn't mind giving them a work visa. As long as you get a company, the company applies for your visa and you get to stay in the country. That one usually works for people who already have the experience, who already have the profession in their CV and have already worked back in their countries. I've met a couple of them, but not so many, so it's usually kind of difficult to do, but it's also an option. Okay, so number 3 is applying to an internship or traineeship. This one comes from if you're applying for an international internship, like especially the UN usually have lots of internships. Also some countries in the Netherlands or in France or in Germany, they do offer traineeships, even if it's just in English, even if you don't know the language of the said country. They do offer international ones. So if you studied in that field, especially in IT, or you did computer science, or you did international relations or tourism. Also tourism is really good. I've met some people who've done this and they got internships or traineeships, and this usually help you because they give you a short stay visa, or it's like a year or 2 years depending on the program. And then after you finish, most of the companies, they will offer you a work contract, helping you secure a visa for work, like a high skilled visa. So that's also an option if you already finish school and you would like to get into internships or traineeships and start your career. So that's number 4. Number 5, the other thing is you can always be an au pair. If you're still under 30, you can always choose to be an au pair again. If you still like kids, if you still want to try another country, another culture, you can move from Netherlands to France, from France to Denmark, from Germany to Austria to Switzerland. You always have this option of being an au pair again and again, like 3 or 4 times. I've met people who've been au pairs for like 5 times, different countries. So if that is your thing, or you're still undecided on what you actually want after your first au pair year, you can always do another au pair year in another country, try different culture, meet different people, travel around, and by the time you're finishing the second year or the third year of the au pair, then you know what to do. Or the last option is always going back home. You can always just pack your things after the first year of being an au pair and decide, you know what, I'll just go home, because maybe some people usually have like a gap year with their companies or with their schools, that they want to take a gap year and then go back home and continue with their degrees or their masters. That is usually also an option. I think I've talked about every option. As number 1, we've talked about being a student, using either a master's degree, a pre-master, or a language visa. Number 2, we've talked about moving to Germany or staying in Germany to do your Ausbildung or your FSJ or BFD, that is volunteering. Number 3, we've talked about having a work visa, a high skilled work visa. If you're already a professional, then that is a very good choice for you to do. Number 4, we've talked about internships or traineeships, which are international and usually go with your program that you already studied in your country, and you find a traineeship or an internship in another country, then you can apply for, the company usually helps apply for your visa. And the last one we've talked about is being an au pair again, because it's always an option, or going home. That's what the last option is, going home. If you like, maybe you were on a gap year and you want to go home and continue with other things. So that is what I wanted to talk to you to mostly, because on my TikTok, please follow me on TikTok. On my TikTok, I posted about my life, and since I'll be posting now about my post-grad life, because I'll be doing my pre-masters in the Netherlands after being an au pair. So I've done both, and I would really like to help. If you have more questions, you can ask on my TikTok, you can ask on the comments down below. Always know that you have a path to take. Like, you always have something to do after a year or after the second year of you being an au pair. You always have something to do. I think that's all, guys. If you have more questions, please ask. Follow me on TikTok and I'll be there in touch. Bye.